first thing I want to know is, right, since you become, a solo artist, an independent artist and whatnot, what has been like the biggest lesson that you've learned since being on your own and taking the solo road with your music?
The biggest lesson I learned is you really just, it's as simple as you just gotta take this shit serious. You just gotta be consistent. Like,
Right.
ain't no shortcuts with that shit for real. You just gotta be consistent.
Mm.
Whatever you want, you just gotta, you feel me? Work towards that shit every day. Make sure you getting better at whatever you doing. That's with anything in life. You just gotta be consistent.
Transition into being obviously the solo artist and dropping solo projects, was it kind of like, not was it tough, but was there an adjustment period for you to kind of just doing shit and putting out solo records on your own in that sense? Like, did you kind of have like you mentioned consistency. Did you ever feel like that you had like a issue with being either consistent or just kind of being on that solo track?
You talking about like from back in the day, did I have an issue with consistency?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Cause I ain't really take this rap shit serious back in the day. Like, I was really playing it lazy. Like, it was so many of us for real. Like, so I wasn't in the studio a lot working on my own shit. So I was working on my niggas' time for real. So you feel me? When they was ready to work, you feel me? I was there.
Right.
Other than that, I wasn't taking my own time at the studio, you feel me, working, perfecting my own craft for real. Like, I just started taking this shit serious, like, probably, like, last year for real, like, the beginning of last year. I ain't gonna lie, like, I always used to try to be consistent, but I never really had my heart in it. Like, last year or, like, late 2020, my heart started getting in that shit for real, and I just been consistent ever since. If I'm not dropping nothing and it don't look like I'm being consistent, I'm in the studio and I'm working. I'm piling up on shit. Like, I'm working. I'm being consistent for sure. But I still feel like I'm not consistent enough. I still feel like it's a lot of work to be done for real.
You said at the end of 2020, early 2021, what was that you felt like your heart was fully in it at that point? What was the thing that, I guess, or what was like the moment that made you like want to be fully in it and be fully committed? Like, what changed?
What was I gonna say? I started going to the studio and I wasn't really, like, it'd be times I wasn't really feeling it. Like, I go in that bitch and I just be in there and won't record nothing and I just go home. But I used to always write though. But I used to hate writing. That's what really made me hate going to the studio, because I used to hate writing. That shit make a nigga feel like doing homework, trying to structure out a song and shit. I used to hate that shit. So that's why I used to hate going to the studio. And then one day, I was in the studio, I couldn't write a bar. And I just walked in the studio and I told my engineer, I was like, I'm finna just go in. And he looked at me, he's like, for real? And he started laughing. I was like, yep, fuck it. This shit, I was like, this shit don't come out right. Shit, we could delete it and I just write that shit later. He's like, yep, it's good. Man, I got up in the studio and I freestyled the whole song. I freestyled it quicker than I wrote. And that shit came out better than a lot of my written shit. They looking at me like, this your bag, you gotta keep doing this. And I've been doing that shit ever since. Like, it feel more natural when I freestyle. Like, I just go in. If I like a beat, I just go in and just do whatever. Like, I don't think, like, I use the studio as my thinking space. Like, I don't start thinking until I plug in, I'm on that mic. Like, and that shit be coming way faster or way more natural, authentic. So that's what made me realize my heart really in this shit. Like, I ain't gotta write. Like, this shit really on my sleeve. So ever since then, I just been having fun with this shit.
So you've been mostly freestyling a lot of these records too?
Yeah, everyone.
That's impressive.
Appreciate
Not
you.
a lot of people can do that.
They could. They stay consistent.